The Long Road of Lei Jun, The Quiet Rise of Xiaomi's Founder. Extended 15-minute narrative biography. The city of Xiantao, in the flatlands of Hubei province, was not a place where people expected legends to be born. It was a simple town. Muddy roads after rain, small shops with hand-painted signs, farmers carrying vegetables across the market at dawn. Yet in December 1969, in a modest household lit by the soft glow of kerosene lamps, Lei Jun entered the world, the boy who would one day build one of the most influential technology companies on the planet. Growing up, Lei was quiet, even by the standards of a quiet town. Teachers often said that he seemed older than his classmates, not in the way he spoke, but in the way he observed. He didn't chatter or seek attention. Instead, he absorbed everything: how machines worked, how people behaved, and how problems could be solved if someone just stayed patient long enough. Books were his doorway out of Xiantao. While other children raced through the dusty streets until sunset, Lei sat by the window reading everything he could find. Once, his teacher lent him a book about programming, thick, technical, dry. Lei read it 3 times in a week. Something in those pages clicked inside him, like a gear falling into place. The idea that a machine could carry human logic, that a person could teach a device to think, fascinated him. Wuhan University, a new world opens. In the late 1980s, Lei was accepted to Wuhan University, one of the country's respected institutions. For a boy from Xiantao, this was not just a step forward, it was a new universe. Wuhan was busy, crowded, alive. Buses roared past gates filled with students from every province. For the first time, Lei felt the pulse of the larger world. He majored in computer science, a field still young in China. The university had only a limited number of computers, and students had to wait their turn. Lei would arrive early, long before the lab opened, just to be first in line. He studied operating systems, architecture, algorithms, and hardware design. But what truly made him stand out was his discipline. Many students studied late before exams. Lei studied late even when there were no exams. Many students celebrated after completing a project. Lei celebrated by beginning another. By 1991, he graduated with high distinction. Professors expected him to pursue research, maybe even study abroad. But Lei had other plans. He didn't want to analyze technology from a distance. He wanted to build it. The Kingsoft years, a young leader emerges. In 1992, he joined Kingsoft, a then small Chinese software company trying to survive in the shadow of giant foreign competitors. The office was tiny, the budgets were thin, and the future was uncertain. But the challenge thrilled him. Lei worked relentlessly. Some nights he slept in the office with a jacket as a blanket. He fixed bugs, wrote modules, improved interfaces. When something broke, the team said, "Give it to Lei. He'll find a way." By 1998, at less than 30 years old, he was appointed CEO of Kingsoft. This shocked some people. He was young, introverted, and didn't look like the stereotypical executive. He had the rare combination of technical skill, vision, and calm leadership. Under Lei's direction, Kingsoft expanded into new fields: productivity software, antivirus tools, video games, language tools. Competitors underestimated him, but Lei never cared. His goals were internal, not external. He believed Chinese software should stand strong without copying others. The company's biggest moment came in 2007 when Lei led Kingsoft to an IPO in Hong Kong. Cameras flashed, investors applauded, and reporters asked questions faster than he could answer. To the outside world, it looked like the peak of his career. But inside, Lei felt exhausted. Years of nonstop work pushed his health to the limit. Shortly after the IPO, he stepped down as CEO. He didn't quit because he failed. He quit because he was human. He spent the next years recovering, reading, traveling, and quietly observing the rapid changes in global technology. The angel investor era. Searching for the next idea. Though he was no longer running Kingsoft day to day, Lei was far from idle. He became an angel investor, supporting ambitious young founders. He had an eye for talent, sharp, intuitive, almost surgical. He invested early in companies like UC Web, which later was acquired by Alibaba, JoYY, several mobile internet startups that later became giants. He wasn't loud about his investments. He didn't brag, didn't demand control. He simply helped people build. But something inside him still felt incomplete. Supporting others was fulfilling, but he hadn't yet created the masterpiece he dreamed of since childhood. He watched the rise of smartphones, the growth of internet services, and the explosion of mobile ecosystems. And one day, he said to himself, "Maybe it's time to build again." April 6th, 2010, the birth of Xiaomi. The meeting was small, just a few people in a simple office with white walls and cheap furniture. No one outside that room knew that a future global powerhouse was being born. Lei Jun gathered co-founders like Lin Bin, and together, they envisioned something new. A company that combined software, hardware, and internet services into one seamless model. Their philosophy was simple but revolutionary. High-quality products, honest pricing, close connection with users, continuous updates, community-driven development. Xiaomi's first product wasn't even a phone. It was MMUI, their custom Android firmware. They updated it every Friday, taking feedback from users across online forums. The community felt like family, and Xiaomi felt like the first company that truly listened. Then came the first smartphone. When Xiaomi released the Mi 1 in 2011, it sold out within minutes. Not because it was flashy, but because it was honest, a powerful phone at a price people could afford. By 2014, Xiaomi had become the fastest-growing smartphone company in the world. By 2018, it went public in Hong Kong. By the 2020s, it became one of the global leaders in smartphones, IoT devices, smart home products, wearables, AI ecosystems, the EV dream. His final great challenge, despite all his success, Lei Jun didn't slow down. In his 50s, when most executives think about stepping back, Lei stepped forward into one of the hardest industries on earth: electric vehicles. He called it my last major entrepreneurial project. Xiaomi invested billions, hired thousands of engineers, and built cars from scratch. Lei personally oversaw engineering details, designs, and testing. His approach remained the same as in his youth: quiet, steady, disciplined. And when Xiaomi finally unveiled its first EV, critics were stunned. It wasn't a toy project or a branding stunt. It was a serious competitor in the global EV market. A legacy carved in silence. Today, Lei Jun is one of the most influential tech founders in the world. Yet he remains remarkably humble. He speaks softly. He avoids unnecessary showmanship. He always credits his team. But behind that calm exterior is a lifetime of relentless dedication, intellectual rigor, and emotional resilience. From a boy in a quiet town to a programmer sleeping in his office, to a CEO leading billion-dollar companies, to a global innovator shaping the future of technology, Lei Jun's life is proof that greatness doesn't always come from noise. Sometimes it comes from silence, from the patient rhythm of a man who simply refuses to stop learning, building, and believing.